Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Nicola Coburn and I'm the owner and senior physiotherapist at HomePhysio by Nicola. If you would like to subscribe and give this video a bit of a like and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any further tips of the week. So today our tip of the week is going to be focused on environmental hazards, thinking about falls prevention. And it's following on from our previous videos talking about, for the firstly, do you have a falls action plan? Would you know what to do if you in the case of having a fall? If that's something that you're not very sure of, please pop over to that video, falls action plan. The video from last week was focusing on if you were to have a fall, what is the best way to get up from the floor? To one, make it the safest way to rise from the floor, and two, to conserve energy. So today's tip of the week is talking about environmental hazards. So what can you have a look at around your home environment to try to minimise the risk of you having a fall in the future? So why are we talking about this subject today? So really 10 to 15% of all admissions to accident and emergency services can be related to having a fall, and that can be of any age. And when we talk about an environmental hazard, it's been shown that up to 80% of people within their home environment will have at least one of these environmental risk factors that we're going to discuss. And up to 39% will have at least 5 or more of these environmental hazards within their home. So it's something to really consider, not only in your own home, but maybe in your friends' homes or your relatives' homes. On these topics we're going to discuss today, have a look about in your home environment and think, okay, maybe these are some of the things that we could change to make the environment a little bit safer. So what are environmental risk hazards when we are discussing them? So I'm going to go through a bit of a list of them. Okay, and with the ones that we discuss, then I'm going to give some tips on things that you can do to change to make it a little bit safer. So the first environmental risk hazard is, do you have any slippery surfaces? Okay, so that can be within your kitchen. Do you have lino or do you have laminate flooring? Within your bathroom area, are they non-slip linos that you have there? So if you have a relative who has, say, had frequent falls either in their bathroom or in their kitchen, maybe that would be something that you could consider. If there's any spillages that happen within your kitchen or your bathroom, you'd want to make sure that they were dried up as soon as possible, just to minimise the risk of you having a slip. The next one we'll discuss is your carpet. So do you have a deep pile carpet, which if it's deep pile, that will make it more uneven as you walk over it, so will challenge your balance more? Or is your carpet very, very worn and threadbare, whereby it could cause a tripping hazard? Do you have any loose rugs or loose mats within the house? Okay, so if that was to be the case, if there was frequent rugs to be throughout your kind of journey from, say, you going from your bedroom through to your living room through to your bathroom, you would want to lift them up. Okay, because if they are slightly raised, then that can cause a tripping hazard. Or if you're walking with a walking aid, the back, say, rubbers of a Zimmer frame can curl up the back of a rug and then can raise it higher for you then to trip on. So if we were coming out to do a home assessment, we would always advise that any loose rugs or mats would be lifted, just to minimise that trip hazard. Talking about door frames and things and talking about flooring, so we've got slippery surfaces, we've got the type of carpet and flooring that you have, and we've got loose rugs and we've got loose mats, but also thinking about your thresholds of your doors as you go from room to room. In older fashioned homes, we tend to have sort of raised thresholds, whereby if you were walking with a walker, you would have to sort of raise the walker over these. And if that was to be the case throughout all the rooms you were going to and falls or near misses were happening, that would be something that you could look at to see if you can get those thresholds levelled to then take away that risk completely. Another thing to be aware of would be what your lighting's like. So what's your lighting like from room to room? So some of the areas where this can be a bit more problematic is in the bedroom. So if you needed to go up to the bathroom during the night, do you have a bedside lamp that you can switch on? What is your lighting like throughout your hallway to then get into your bathroom? There's the number of people that we go out to visit and they say, oh, well, I know the way. I've lived in this house for years and I know the way from the bedroom through to the bathroom. I don't need to put any lights on. Okay, but it's really vital that you've got adequate lighting so that you can see if there's any obstacles in the way, that you know your path. You can then dictate the space for going through the doorways, for turning and things. So making sure you've got adequate lighting. So that could be bedside lamp. You can get the plug-in lights within the sockets that can glow during the night while they're on until you can find and get to the light switch if you've got a bit of a walk to get to your hallway to switch your lamp on. So that is vital, and throughout all of the rooms within the house you want to make sure you've got adequate lighting so again you can see the hazards that are in front of you. Talking about sight, you would want to make sure that your vision is checked regularly so that you're able to, one, be able to see the hazards that are around, make sure that you've got good depth perception, that you're able to assess how far away an obstacle is from you, or if you have any blurred vision or double vision or cataracts there, or if you've got any glaucoma. It's vital that these things are picked up quickly and can be corrected, because they can make a world of difference for being able to keep you safe within your home and also when you're outdoors as well. Hearing as well as making sure that you've had your hearing checked regularly too, so that you're able to hear any obstacles coming. So for instance, if you had any pets within your home environment, or if you had visitors who like to bring their pets in to visit you, you'd want to be able to hear any upcoming hazards coming towards you. So if there's any sort of pets that are coming to run around your feet, say for instance, you'd be able to make sure that you could sit down before they came towards you. Another thing is thinking about your environment in relation to furniture and obstacles and clutter. Okay, so you want to know that you have got adequate space for you to manoeuvre. So whether that's you without an aid or even with a walking aid, that there's no furniture within your way when you're trying to turn. So if you're trying to turn within a tight space, what tends to happen is you tend to take shorter steps. You tend to make sure that your feet are closer together. It can be a bit awkward as you turn, or you have to place the walking aid to the side as you're trying to get round to turn and sit down. Or sometimes you just think, oh, that walking aid's just in the way, I'd just rather use the furniture that's there. And the amount of people that we speak to that furniture walk because the furniture is so close together that's easier than walking with an aid. But what tends to happen in that circumstance is that you tend to become quite stooped because you're trying to reach for the furniture to make sure that you're secure. And it's not always that every piece of furniture that you touch is secure. So we want to make sure that your environment is not cluttered, that you've got adequate space to move and you've got adequate space to turn, to sit down and to stand up safely. Okay, in the bathroom you want to make sure that you've got good fixtures within your bathroom. So that's if you're, say, from your toilet, if you need a raised toilet frame so you can make sure you can stand at adequate height. Within your shower or your bath, that you have handrails that you can hold on to, so if you felt unsteady, or say for instance, and one of the biggest things for people is when they're washing their hair. So what we tend to do is we close our eyes, don't we, as we're washing our hair. That takes away our visual feedback for aligning our body up to all the verticals within the room, and therefore challenges the balance much, much higher. Okay, so the risk of you having a fall with your eyes closed is much higher. So making sure that you've got, say, a handrail that you can hold on to while your eyes are closed while you're rinsing off your shampoo, or if you needed a shower seat or a bathing board. Lots of different pieces of equipment out there that can help, and that's usually the occupational therapist that can help guide you towards that. So if that is something that you're having difficulty with, please get in touch with your GP surgery and they'll be able to give you advice on the follow-up from that situation. But from a physiotherapist's point of view is that we can identify these risks and then we can give you information as to where we go forward with that too. So fixtures are important as well when you're in the bathroom, where you're going to be exposed to kind of more slippery surfaces if you're standing in the shower, or wet surfaces as you're coming out, making sure that you try to keep as safe as possible with that. And the next one is just talking about your staircases. So with your staircase, do you have adequate rails for your staircase? Is your staircase clear? Some people like to kind of put things at the bottom of their stairs and think, oh, I'll put that there because I'm going to carry it up the stairs later, but that can then clutter your stairway as you're rising. And making sure that you have adequate support as you go up the stairs. So if you feel that your balance or your mobility or your strength isn't quite as good, you can hold on to your rails as you're going up to give you a bit more stability and just do one step at a time. So that can help within that circumstance, making sure staircases are clear and that there's adequate rails there for you to support. The last thing to consider would be any other trip hazards that may be around the house. So for instance, wires, cables, making sure that there's none of them within your walking path, because they obviously are a tripping hazard. So if there's any possibility that you can have wires up out of your way or put behind furniture, so that eliminates that risk completely. So just to recap, to go through quickly, okay, we've got slippery surfaces, we've got deep pile or worn carpets, loose rugs and loose mats, inadequate lighting, cluttered space or cluttered furniture round about, staircases with no railings, fixtures within your bathroom, wires and trip hazards, your thresholds within your doors, the pets underfoot and being able to hear for hazards coming, and also making sure that you've got good vision so you can identify these hazards in the first instance. Two other things to consider would be making sure that you've got good fitting shoes or slippers. So you want to make sure that your whole foot is supported throughout, both with your slippers and with your shoes, and that you've got good heel support as well, and that the fastenings are working correctly so that your whole of your foot can be supported. And that can then feed up to the balance writing reactions much better if you've got a good stable shoe or slipper. Also making sure that your clothing is fitted right, okay, so that we don't have loose trousers, okay, that could trail on the floor and that could make us trip, or that our skirt is too long, and making sure that, you know, we've got good fitting clothes and good fitting shoes as well. That can help to minimise the risk within your home environment too. So I hope that this has helped. So we want to make sure that our home environment is as safe as possible. So try to minimise these risks that we've had. And we've spoken about making sure that you've got good, adequate room to move within your home environment for the rooms that you need to walk and your approach to the chair. And with that, making sure that your walker can sit comfortably close by you so that then it's accessible for when you stand, and it's a bit of a visual prompt to think, okay, well, I've got to use that walker as I'm up, rather than thinking about furniture walking too. So that's the tip of the week. I hope it's been useful to you. Please pop down in the comments below if this has been useful information to you, or any topics that you would like me to cover in the future, and I will try to be as accommodating as possible. So once again, if you can subscribe to the channel, give me a like and turn on notifications so that you're able to get the video for next time. And if you think that you are having difficulties with falls, if you feel that you either have had a fall recently or you've had a few near misses in the past, and you would like to get a physiotherapy assessment and you're within the Scottish borders, then Home Physio by Nicola can help. So if you were able to contact me on nicola.coburn@homephysionicola.co.uk, or give me a phone on 0777 866 3470, and I can give you a free telephone consultation which lasts half an hour, whereby we talk about what your symptoms are, what your difficulties are, and how I can help you. So I hope this has been useful, and hope you all have a good day. Bye bye.